Hey, what up, Decisive Markers? Thanks for being here today on Decisive Talks, right? So I'm Henry Ho, and I'm an entrepreneur, digital marketer, and most importantly, okay, a software enthusiast. And today, I have Dominic Zijlstra here. He's the founder of Traverse.link, right? So Traverse.link is a learning management system with scientific super learning techniques, and I'm so excited to have him here to share about his background, right? So let me bring on Dominic right here. Hi, Dominic. How's it going?
Hi, hi, Henry. Good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, likewise, right? It's very amazing to see young founders like yourself, right? How old are you, by the way?
I'm 29.
Wow, that's you're even younger than myself, right? So Dominic, tell us about yourself. Where you're from, and how did you get into entrepreneurship, and what did you see or experience that made you decide to jump into the SaaS business?
Yeah, sure. So I kind of started with my current girlfriend, but yeah. So I'm from Holland, so that's where I grew up. Very young, was interested a lot in reading, and we got our first computer, so I learned to program as well, and I played video games, obviously, with my friends. Um, then yeah, after high school, I decided to move abroad. So I actually started. I studied in Germany, studied physics and engineering there, and then yeah, I actually met a girl from Brazil. So I decided to graduate in Brazil, and I did. I graduated there in like electrical engineering for aerospace for satellites, and that's when I came back to Europe. I got my first job in that field as well with Airbus. First in London, and then later at the headquarters in Toulouse in France. And yeah, basically after 1.5 years, I learned pretty much everything in aerospace. So I moved to a fintech startup in London, and I did data science for them. I later did like full stack engineering for them, and that was like my first encounter with entrepreneurship, right? So I saw that yeah, you can actually build a business to help people. And it was at that time that I met my current girlfriend as well, and she's Chinese. And then I was trying to learn Chinese, and I found out that actually, hey, I was really struggling. Like when I was talking with her parents, I couldn't really communicate, right, because they couldn't speak English. So yeah, I was having this problem with learning. So I thought, well, maybe I can create a startup that helps people learn difficult stuff, right? So then I developed my own learning method to be able to learn Chinese. Basically using all of the scientific literature that I read about learning science, and I created this process for myself, and I was able to use that to learn Chinese. So then I thought, well, then maybe other people can learn other stuff with this as well, right? And so that's why I created this app. And yeah, that's basically where I'm at now. So yeah, I've developed this app, and it's working really well for me and for other people who are using it. And then of course creators can use the app as well and actually create courses on the platform, which have like efficient learning techniques embedded into them, right? So that the students who take those courses, they will actually learn it in an efficient way.
I see. Uh, can I ask you some questions in Mandarin then, right? 你的中文好不好？
还可以的。
Wow, that's not bad. Your Mandarin is quite fluent, right? So,
谢谢。
yeah. So you actually use whatever is on Traverse Link to the methods that gave birth to Traverse Link to actually learn Chinese.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I see. Wow, that's quite amazing, right? But what actually fascinates you about like Mandarin? What do you want to learn about, the Chinese language itself?
Well, actually, so since my girlfriend is Chinese, I really like Chinese culture and the country. So I want to move there at some point and live there for a couple of years. And and yeah, get really fluent in Chinese as well. So that's like my main motivation.
Well, that's awesome, right? Have you ever been to like China or I mean, you're saying that your current girlfriend is Chinese. Is she from China or is she from maybe like Taiwan or Malaysia or Singapore? Because we have a lot
No,
of
yes, she's actually from China, from Shanghai. So so yeah, I've been to China quite a couple of times as well. But yeah, obviously now with COVID, it's much more difficult, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sure you must miss China, right? Have you?
Yeah.
What's your because when you bring up China, because I also love to go to China because I like to go there for traveling. It's a great place. It's I when I describe of course my favorite city is Guangzhou. Have you been to Guangzhou? Where
Uh,
is your favorite city?
yeah, I know. I've been planning to watch. You said Hangzhou, right?
Guangzhou.
Oh,
Uh,
Guangzhou. Okay, I've
yeah,
actually been there. Yeah, but only for like 2 days. So I haven't seen a lot, unfortunately, of Guangzhou.
I see. Yeah, I think Hangzhou. I think that's where the most of the tech startups are in China, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was actually planning to work there before COVID, but then yeah, that got canceled due
I
to COVID as
see.
well.
Oh, that's a pity. Then so when I share about China and like Guangzhou, I always tell people like it's just imagine it's like Bangkok, right? It's like Bangkok,
Mm.
but it um it is way more convenient because everything is mobile. You don't even bring like your wallet out of the house anymore. So it's a
Exactly.
very amazing experience when I got there. Yeah. So anyway, it's not about China today. We're gonna be talking about Traverse.link, right? So entrepreneurship is not easy. Whether it's just starting a simple blog or like some people do like drop shipping, or even starting a SaaS business like yourself that requires technical skills. Every entrepreneur faces challenges. What were some of the lowest point of your life? Could you share about that?
Yeah, there were definitely a lot of challenges. So, like, I think first when I started building this app, I was just building and building without getting any user feedback. So basically, I ended up with something that was not really friendly, user friendly at all. And yeah, I basically built out a lot of wrong things. And then only after I started getting some users and talking with users and interviewing them, I got a much better idea of how I could actually build something that worked much better for people and was easier to use. So that was one of the initial challenges, and then later on, so when I got a bit of traction and some users, like initially I didn't have any. I didn't really have. I hadn't really thought about pricing, so I got a lot of users, but then well, I was just getting poorer and poorer, right? Because more server costs. So yeah, that's when I introduced like some pricing plans as well, and then it was challenging to find a way to get users to subscribe as well, rather than just sign up for free, right? So I think the pricing plans are kind of working now, also thanks to the AppSumo deal which we got live. And also with this pricing, I'm able to provide much better servers and customer support and develop features that actually people who are paying are asking for, right? Because then I can invest my time and get rewarded for it as well.
Yeah, I mean I can tell, right? Because first thing is you're quite young and you're young in your entrepreneurship journey right now, so you might not have a lot of experience with when it comes to building a business itself. Right? It's a skill that we got to pick up. I'll say,
Yeah.
right? And also, I kind of get a feeling. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, right? But you seem to be a really smart person, and when you jump into something that you want to build, I can see that you have the passion and you keep building and building and building. So I just want to find out, like, do you have a is it difficult, or do you find like there are some challenges when you deal with customers, right, or users, because it might not be a strong suit to deal with people. Would you say that?
Yeah, definitely. That's something I really had to learn as well. And yeah, as I mentioned, I was building, and I only started talking with users later. So yeah, that was definitely something I had to learn and got better at over time. And even now, it's like sometimes I get so many customer requests, like support requests, that I think, oh, like, what am I going to do about all of that, right? So yeah, that's definitely still like a learning challenge.
Yeah, does your girlfriend help you with that? Because when it comes to when it comes to ladies in China, from China, right? They some of them are very strong headed, and I guess she might be able to help you in certain ways, right? Does she help you out with Traverse.link, with
Yeah,
problems here and there?
yeah. She doesn't really at the moment. She's not involved very much, but that might actually be a good idea. So yeah.
I see. Yeah. So I really enjoyed the you sharing a story about how you actually come up with the idea of Traverse.link. It was based on your own difficulty when it comes to learning the Chinese language, right? I mean, and it's not just with Chinese language, but it's anything that we learn. And one thing, when I was testing out, Traverse.link, when I posted up the video review, right, was that I really like the idea, because most LMS out there, how they just kind of put you with chunks of lessons. It's just like
Yeah.
a section, and then individual lessons within these modules, and then another one, and then it just keeps going on and on. So it's kind of back to school, where we are being taught to gobble up everything that's in the book itself, and try to spit them out in the examination, right? So it's not a very good way, because what happens is that a lot of people out just study to be able to make a good score in the examination itself. So whereas I see that when it comes to Traverse.link, the way that the course is being structured, it is meant for every person to look at every single lesson and how it connects together, so that when you learn a single lesson, how does this component relate to the previous components as well. So I really like that idea. But why did you choose the name Traverse.link? How did you came up with it? How is it related to learning itself? Does it have any meaning, or uh, what do you have anything to share about the name?
Yeah. So basically, so the name Traverse, it's based on the mathematical model between how, as I said, how all those different lessons relate and are interconnected, and so you can create like a kind of knowledge tree or a web of knowledge. But then when you have to go to the course, you also have to go to it in, like, you have to have a start and you have to have an end, right? So you have to go through it one by one, and this is, like, mathematically speaking, called like traversing a tree, for example. So that's how I came up with Traverse. And then of course the other feature is that you can link different different lessons to each other and see how they relate to each other, which is also like how things are connected in the brain, right? So that's why I chose those two words, basically, Traverse and link, and then the .link domain was actually available, so I chose that one.
Yeah, that's a great name, right? Being moving through, sort of like a journey, but at the same time, when it comes to traversing, right, it means that there is some relationship to where you came from as well,
Yeah.
right? It's I mean, because I like to play games, right? And there's this game that's really popular. It's called Kingdom Hearts. I'm not sure if you've heard of it before. It has
Yeah.
like the Disney characters with the the Japanese Final Fantasy characters in them. And there's this particular town that where you end up, and it's like your home place, right? And it's called Traverse Town, and it's like
Mm.
you go somewhere and you're coming back, something like that. So I can kind of see what you're trying to say. You're trying to convey with the name Traverse, right? It's about trying to see the connections in the when you're learning itself. I really like that. So could you share, with us where you think Traverse.link stands out from the competitor, right? Because if we're really just talking about an LMS, then you have a huge, number of competitors out there. How do you think you can compete in this niche? Because you've got the big companies like Teachable, Thinkific, and you also have, when it comes to even small companies that are on lifetime deals, we have like Go for Click right now. There was Pay, a lot of. It seems like there are just a lot of LMSs coming up, and I guess it has to do with COVID as well. Right? So, how do you think that you can compete in this particular niche itself?
Yeah, that's a great question. So actually, there's kind of two kind of competitors, right? As you said, there's the LMSs like Teachable and all of the other big ones, obviously. But then there's also other tools which help students learn. For example, I mean, there's Anki, which was like flashcards, and recently there's a Remnote, which lets you take notes. And those flashcards and does like some interconnected notes as well. And it's a bit similar to what Traverse does, but what's really stands out is it's much easier to start using Traverse. So I tried to make the learning curve as easy as possible, so that you can just start creating like a mind map, and then you start taking notes, and then you add some questions to make it interactive. And this is basically the same process when you as a student are learning a new subject, right? So it's like, it doesn't matter whether you're a student learning a new subject or whether you're a course creator creating a course about the same subject. It's the same process. And also you can do both in Traverse. So you can then create the course and publish that to your student, or you can just learn something by yourself in a very efficient way with mind maps and flashcards, etc. So it's really like being much easier to get started with, and then incorporating all of the scientific learning techniques and basically giving you a like 4-step process for learning anything, and creating courses which allow the students to learn in that efficient way.
Yeah, I do agree with that. One thing that is a little bit different with Traverse.link, right, is that it is more than just the LMS. It's also for you to learn anything. It's not just going. It's not just an online course platform, but it's more than that. That's what I think it is. And we have a comment here, right, from Thomas. Right, Thomas is one of our community members that recently joined us, and he says he's pressing the link and getting this, right. So, so it seems like he's keen on getting a Traverse.link code for himself. And then we have a question. We have a few questions here, which we'll get to it towards the end of the interview, right? So, if it's not confidential, right? Would you be able to share certain plans of Traverse.link that we will be able to see in 6 to 8 months' time?
Yeah, sure. So actually, there is like a roadmap out there as well. So some things that we are planning is create more question types, for example. So right now, questions are mostly like all free form. So we want to add stuff like multiple choice questions, maybe as well. And then we want to improve the visualization of the mind map even further, better visualize connections even better. And also we want to make it a bit easier to really learn in chunks. So it can be that the learner learns a lot of stuff, and then the next day they have to review so many questions and they get a bit overwhelmed. And we want to avoid that. We want to just be able to use the app every day for like maybe 15 to 30 minutes, and that's like all the learning for the day, right? So we want to that's like stuff that we want to improve on the learner side. But then on the creator side, there are plans obviously as well. So we want to make it possible to embed a lot more content. So right now you can, you can embed audio, video, stuff like that, also tables and code blocks. But there are people who want to embed stuff like maybe diagrams from Whimsical or other sites, or even embed just iframes from other websites. So we want to expand those options as well. As well as maybe stuff like LaTeX for mathematical equations. And then another thing that creators really want is to be able to work on a course with a team, so with multiple people. And this is something that I think longer term we might want to support as well, so that you can actually like almost like in a Google Docs, right, with multiple people work on a course.
Yeah, that's really nice. I'm actually looking at it right now, and I think being able to embed more stuff like slides, iframes, plug in a website in there. I think those would be really helpful when it comes to learning multiple choice questions. I see that as well. And mobile apps, I think those are very useful as well. But when it comes to I have one question, right? When it comes to the let's say we have a video, right? Is it possible that let's say when we put a video in there, can we try to actually cast it on the screen itself? I don't see many LMSs trying to do something like that, because the video player doesn't support it. But I feel like it's a great way to learn, because I cast it on a big screen, and at the same time I'm able to access any notes or handouts through my phone itself. That's something that I feel it's not many LMSs are actually doing that. And I can see from the way that you built Traverse.link, right, I'm actually very impressed, because your focus is really more about the getting people to learn. It's more about the learning process, and not so much about the marketing and stuff like that, which most LMSs are focused on, because it's about trying to get the business owners to jump in so that they make money, right? Because if the business owners make money, then you would then be able to make money, right? So I can see that you come from a very different approach, and I really enjoyed it. So the next question would be, do you have a team, or could you share if you have a team, or are you actually working alone? How are they like? Do you have any activities that together with your team?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, actually. Because I've been working on it mostly alone. I've been getting some help, like from friends on UX design and some other stuff. But actually, I'm looking to build a team right now. So I'm it's like a customer support and marketing person. So I'm looking at maybe getting a virtual assistant or something for that. But then I'm also very keen at some point to get like a student on board who's just very interested in the whole learning science, ed tech, educational technology, etc., and who was able to program as well, and they will then eventually be able to help me implement all of those features. So that's definitely something. I'm really. That would be like the perfect person to hire, right? Because they would be very interested, very dedicated, and they could really help me scale it up. So I don't know if there's anybody in the audience who knows a suitable person, but I'm definitely looking to hire them.
Yeah, basically you're trying to look for yet another Dominic, right? Who's passionate about everything. Yeah.
And
So
another Dominic,
I hope
maybe
you
10
find
years
that.
younger as well.
Yeah, I hope you find that person. Yeah, I think building a team. If you have questions, then feel free to ask me. I have about 25 people on my team, and I can share with you some advice when it comes to hiring, right? So, what are some challenges or big hurdles that that Traverse.link is occupied with currently?
Yeah, so current challenges, I think it's one is very much around distribution and marketing. So we have this like the AppSumo deal right now going on, but ideally we want to move people towards our own subscription-based plans, our own deals as well. So yeah, kind of getting this transition in place, and then also part of that is rewriting like the copy that's targeting the creators. It's very outdated on the website right now. So yeah, basically want to put a marketing plan in place to help the app grow, and help creators create more courses. And this is, I think, the main focus right now. And yeah, part of it is also implementing some of the features that were requested, obviously. But yeah, I think getting in touch with amazing communities like yours here is a very very good way of doing that, because we're getting very useful feedback from the audience already, and we're also able to offer you some nice deal, right? So I think it's like a win-win way of doing that.
Yeah, some questions, right? Yeah. Well, lastly, I just like to say that before we jump into another set of questions, just want to comment on Traverse.link, right? It's very different that what you're building, because when I go to the different LMS's website, and all I can see is wow, this Teachable is great. It always comes from the course creator or the business owner perspective, right? So when they give the testimonial, it's always about that. But one thing that we don't see when we go onto Teachable website or Thinkific or whichever online course platform, we always see that I, as the course creator, is using this and being successful with it. However, we don't actually see students actually talking about, I learned on Teachable and I actually managed to learn something. Right. Whereas when it comes to Traverse.link, right, guys, just go to their website and check it out, and you'll see that a lot of testimonials about Traverse.link is about the students themselves learning on Traverse.link, which I find very different from a lot of other platforms out there, right? So it's I can see that your focus is a little bit more on the student, making sure that the learning process is they retain most of what they learn through the Traverse.link methodology. So how do you feel about launching a lifetime deal then?
Yeah, so that was very exciting. So you mean like on AppSumo or in general, or
Yeah, from AppSumo itself, how do you feel so far about launching a lifetime deal?
Yeah, I mean, I was very good, because the people there are very engaged, because it's like a community, like here as well, right? So if you launch a deal for them, you get a lot of very very valuable feedback. So that's good, and then you also get some revenue. So it's kind of a good way to start out, I think. But then of course, you have to also think about the future, how to keep it sustainable, and maybe move to like a subscription based model at some point. But the good thing is right now, like everybody here is early adopter, so you benefit from early pricing deals like lifetime deals, obviously. And AppSumo, I think is a great platform for that.
Yeah, because one thing really cool about people who buy the lifetime deals, right, is that we always like to test out your tool. It's like we are passionate beta tester. I have no idea why we are so crazy as well. We are paying you money, but at the same time, we are passionate beta tester. We actually test your tool itself and give you a lot of feedbacks, and that I would say that that helps you to grow for the next 1 or 2 years as you are implementing all these feature requests and some ideas for your tool itself, right? How about the community itself, right? How do you feel about the community itself? I was actually introduced to you from one of our community members as well, right? It's we can you feel do you feel that we are all very passionate about these different softwares, right? How do you feel about the lifetime deal community?
Yeah, I think it's very good, and as you say, those are people who are very excited about trying out and testing new things, and giving very valuable feedback, and then also telling others about it, obviously, which is great. And actually, so I got a Discord community for my own app as well. And actually, I haven't been as active in there as I could be, maybe, but I think it's a very interesting phenomenon that we see those communities of like-minded people everywhere on the internet now, and that has grown a lot during COVID as well. And I think that's a great thing. Like, you can connect with other people interested in similar things, right? And exchange experiences. And then it also benefits the creator as well.
Yeah, I'm just sharing your Discord server in the chat, right? So that people can access it, in case they have any question and they would like to reach out to you as well, right? So the next question that I have, right, is we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, is that it's when it with Traverse.link, it's kind of like a learning tool, but it's also a LMS, right? So when it comes to LMSs, there are many competitors, as I mentioned, right? And what would you say to people that are on the fence right now? They actually saw your view, Traverse.link, okay, it looks interesting. But what would you say to these people to actually take a look at Traverse.link instead of other tools out there? Hey, maybe you guys should check out Traverse.link. It might be more suitable for your own online courses, for your own community as well, right? What would you say to try and attract the attention from some of our community members right here?
Yeah, so I would definitely say, like, especially if you are struggling to come up with content, maybe it makes it very easy to just start with a mind map, start taking some notes, and grow from there. So it's a very easy way to get started with a course. So that might definitely be an advantage there. Like, you don't have to set up all of your pages first, like in Teachable. And then the other advantage is obviously like the learner experience. So learners actually get they get the mind map and they get flashcards, and the flashcards also keep them long-term engaged because it has like a spaced repetition algorithm. So you will actually review the flashcards at like the optimal time to remember them long-term. And this also keeps students coming back to your course, right? Like, even in 4 months from now, they still have some flashcards to review, so they will come back to your course. And also, like, if you're already using Teachable or one of the other platforms, like, that's totally fine, because we have like embed options as well. So you can just embed, maybe just embed like the mind map with flashcards into your existing Teachable course, and use it like that. That's that's a great way of doing it as well, because I mean, there are benefits to something like Teachable, as you said, because they have the whole marketing funnel as well, which we don't. So I would say, like, why not have the best of both worlds,
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it as well. Is that Traverse.link can be embedded onto any of those platforms out there, and it actually grows hand in hand. And what I would say is that if you are on the fence about looking at Traverse.link right now, is that you want to take a look at you want to ask yourself, right, if you are really focused about helping your students to learn and succeed, then I think Traverse Link would be a great platform to make that kind of successes happen, right? The last thing would be a little bit about the lifetime deal again. We understand that every startup founder you might want to have a glorious exit, right? Say exit and make a lot of money, right? When someone else buys over your company, right? But many of them they actually left lifetime license owners stranded and abandoned as well. Some companies have sold off themselves and don't honor these lifetime licenses anymore. It could be that the product is no longer active anymore, right? It could be killed off by the new acquirer itself. So while some startups fail and unable to keep up with the maintenance of the services, those who succeed also seem to abandon the early adopters as well. Right? So what's your perspective on this? And would you be putting out any conditions? In the event that the Traverse Link gets acquired, lifetime license owners are also protected. Right?
Yeah, so well, first of all, like I don't really have any plans to sell Traverse.link right now. So it's really I would ideally like it to generate sustainable revenue by itself and to just keep it running like that, right? And yeah, especially like if I can hire some students, like it can run and just generate income, which is the best option I think for both the founder and the users. But yeah, if we should ever get acquired at some stage, I would obviously negotiate as a condition of the acquisition that yeah, lifetime deals would be honored. Yeah, especially since that's how we get our revenue started, right? So that I'm very grateful to those customers, and I wouldn't want to upset them.
Oh, thanks so much. I can feel your how to say I can feel your you know uh that you are grateful to some of us who have given you a lot of feedback to help you grow your tool in the early stage, right? So before we end off, right, we have a few questions in here. So we have a question which is someone that asked, right? I can't see who this is, but someone asked, better than walling. Okay, so what would you say that is different for Traverse.link and walling itself?
I'm not sure if I know walling. Is that a tool?
Yeah, it's kind of like a
Yeah,
note taking kind of tool itself.
Okay. So it's this one, right? The visual workspace to manage all your work.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. See. Actually, I mean that looks quite cool as well. I guess the main difference is like, yeah, this is like a workspace for project management, and I guess the common thing is that both are visual.
Yeah.
You can organize it very nicely, but yeah, obviously, like our focus is very different because our focus is very much on learning for the students rather than project management. So I'm not sure if it's possible to compare it in terms of better than or worse than. I think it's just a very different focus.
Yeah, so walling is more for maybe your project management
Yeah.
or organizing your ideas and stuff like that. Whereas the Traverse.link is more about it's more about the students learning. It's following through a method that it's that is more connected, so that when people learn individual lessons, they see the connection of the entire course itself, I would say, right?
Yeah.
And then we have a question here: is that are there any plans to create a simple and embeddable of SRS based review or flashcard type as well?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not sure what the exact requirements here are, but yeah, like our the flashcards that we have are spaced repetitions or SRS based. So that already exists, and then you can embed any particular lesson with its flashcards in in your website or teachable course or whatever as well. So I think it's pretty much possible to do that right now. I don't know if this particular user has any more details that or requirements that he wants to share, but yeah, in principle, this is possible.
Yeah, so all these questions are actually asked by Avnish Mishra, right? So Avnish, if you are able, if you're still on the stream, if you are able to elaborate on your question, that would really help us, right? Okay, and I would just like to ask, when it comes to Traverse.link, right? When you created this, you mentioned that this is it has to do with what do you call that? A scientific method, right? It's a scientific method to help you to retain more of your learning. Could you share a little bit about why the Traverse.link method, right? It's more it actually works better than trying to learn from, let's say, LMS that's out there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so basically, so Traverse breaks down the learning process for you in 4 different steps. So the first is like, and each of those steps has its own scientific learning techniques associated with it. So the first is like knowledge management, and I mean there's a lot of great knowledge management tools out there, like Rome Research, for example, which basically allow you to organize your knowledge in a way that is connected and has like a tree-like structure, basically in the same way as it's in your brain. So Traverse does that as well. And then the next step after that is, once you've organized your knowledge, you have to build understanding, right? And so for understanding, Traverse uses some scientific learning techniques based that go back to Richard Feynman. He's a very famous Nobel Prize winning physicist, and he basically tried to understand some new concept, to explain it to like a 12-year-old or somebody who doesn't know anything about the subject, right? So that's also how it works in Traverse. So once you have built this understanding, you try to write questions, like just very basic naive questions, and answer them in a way that even a 12-year-old would understand. And after you've done that, the next step is memorization. So memorization is necessary to learn something, to study it, whether it's for an exam or to apply a new skill in real life. It needs to be in your brain, right? It's not enough if it's on Google somewhere you can find it. It actually needs to be in your brain. And yeah, for that we use the flashcards with a spaced repetition algorithm, which basically prompts you at the exact moment that you're about to forget, and that basically avoids, prevents you from forgetting and improves your recall. And actually, spaced repetition has been shown to improve recall very significantly in multiple scientific papers. And that then gets you to the last step, which is like application. So applying the skill in real life, or whether it's taking an exam, or whether you are actually applying what you're doing in your job. And that's basically what the previous 3 steps get you to. So it's this whole 4-step process, each of them so with its own scientific learning techniques associated with it, that are really the basis.
I can start to understand why it's better, right? So because you brought up Rome Research, right? And then I remember about about your own research about how every single node is being connected itself, and I think I think this methodology seems to retain more of your learning itself, because the first thing is you learn the individual lessons and then you have it connected so that you can see the connection itself. Then then you then have the you have the memorization process as well. I think that's very important also, is that even though we might not like exams and stuff like that, one thing that I feel why I'm able to put up a lot of content very fast is because I I I memorize them, right? But I didn't really actively memorize them, but I keep going through the process over and over again, and I start to connect everything together, and I'm able to put out content very fast
Yeah.
in that way, right? So we have some question here from Nitin. Nitin who's our community member as well. He asked he needs some discount for creator lifetime deal. So the Traverse.link deal that's currently on AppSumo right now, is that actually actually for the creator plan? Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the creator plan. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think we are able to give any discount on the AppSumo deal, right? So, but what you can do, Nitin, is
Yeah, I think
definitely.
so.
Yeah,
I think actually this user. So there is a lifetime deal for creators on our own pricing as well right now. And AppSumo is already like a pretty big discount on that. So I'm not sure if they were referring to like the plan on our website, then they will see that if they take the AppSumo deal instead, they will actually already get quite a big discount.
yeah, that's right. Right. So Nitin, if you are buying the AppSumo deal, right, it's already heavily discounted, right? Because if you want to have more discounts, then definitely check out how to get a briefcase, right? For AppSumo briefcase, right? You can go to briefcasehq.com and purchase a briefcase, because you just need to pay about $149 and you get $196 in credits, and on top of that you get a 10% discount on anything that you buy. So if you get a briefcase, then Traverse.link would only cost you $81, right? Because you get a 10% discount, right? So that's something to consider. And Nitin also asked, what does unlimited custom domain in creators mean?
Yeah, so basically as a creator, you can create as many courses as you like. And then for each of those courses, you can actually, so if you have your own website, maybe, I don't know, like Dominic.com, right?
Yeah.
You can create like, if you have 5 courses, maybe like course1.dominic.com, like course2.dominic.com, whatever. So you can create as many domains as you like, and all of those you can then associate with the Traverse course that you've created. So if somebody goes to course1.dominic.com, they will actually see the Traverse course that you're created. So that's what we mean by unlimited custom domains, because you can create as many courses as you like, and each of them can have its own domain.
Wow. Okay, that's actually a very generous plan, right? Is that you get unlimited custom domains, right? Because with most LMSs, you don't get that as well. I guess it's because it's very easy to put up a course on Traverse.link, right? That's why you considered and giving away unlimited custom domains, so that we can put up a lot more courses, and because you have like a marketplace in Traverse.link, right? So because when you publish a course publicly, you your course is can be purchased by anyone who access Traverse.link as well, right? So I think that's a very good idea. Definitely, guys, check out Traverse.link, right? Because I didn't know about the unlimited custom domains myself as well. So this would be great if you guys create a lot of mini courses around, and every single one of them you want to have them on on its own individual website, I think Traverse.link will be great for you. And then is the AppSumo plan same as the creators plan, right? So I believe so, but Dominic, could you confirm this? The AppSumo plan is
Yeah,
actually
it's pretty much the same, except so the custom domains we built after we launched the AppSumo plan. So that's not officially included in the AppSumo plan, but if you buy the AppSumo plan and then just leave a review on AppSumo, then I will enable custom domains for you as well. So then it's exactly the same as the creator plan.
Oh, I see. Okay, so basically, when you purchase the AppSumo plan, you have pretty much the same as the creator plan, except you don't get unlimited custom domains. You just need to leave a review for the access to unlimited custom domains. Okay, I think that's a very good marketing strategy, right? Because everyone here knows custom domains here, right? So we have another question here. Is there should be an ability to make mind map full screen?
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
that's might be a good idea. So yeah, currently you either have the sidebar, and when you can collapse the sidebar, but then it will show one of the lessons at the side of the mind map. It might be an idea to hide it completely and just have the mind map full screen. Yeah, that's definitely something that I'm considering.
Okay. Yeah. That's so. I think Nitin, you have your answer here. So if you are, if you are keen on Traverse.link, right? The link is in the post description, right? You can go ahead, click on it, and sign up for it. Yeah, I know it says my bad, right? It says next week. Let me just change that. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So go ahead, click on the link, and you can go ahead and purchase your Traverse.link lifetime deal. Okay. And I think pretty much that's all I have to ask, right? So Dominic, do you have anything like you like to share before we end off this live stream?
Yeah, I'm just very, very grateful to everybody here. Thanks for your inputs, and yeah, if you have other questions or feedback later on, don't hesitate to send it to me. It's just dom@traverse.link. You can find that email in several places as well.
All right.
And also happy to talk about anything to do with pricing or plans. If something doesn't quite work for you, you can create a custom deal as well. So yeah, just drop me an email.
Yeah. I have one last question. Is that I think there are some people that are asking on your AppSumo deal page itself, asking for access to enterprise plan. Right? Do you have any idea if you like to implement enterprise plan with stacking?
Yeah, actually, so I'm talking with AppSumo right now, but it takes a few days before they respond. So we will add the enterprise plan, which comes with white labeling, and that's like an experimental feature. But that will be available through stacking as well. So if you buy the deal twice, then you can enable that. But for now, what you can do is you can buy the deal once, and then you get stacking for $15 per month. So you basically get it for the price of the creator plan rather than the enterprise plan, because you already have bought the lifetime deal.
I see. Well, that's actually very generous. Right? Just 2 codes, and you can actually get the enterprise plan, right? So pretty much, I think that's all I have. Thanks so much for being here today, Dominic. I appreciate you for being here, and hopefully maybe down the road, if you like to come back and join me on the show itself, I would love to have you, right? And that's all I have, everyone. We have Pato, we have Nitin, a lot of you here who's live in the stream. That's all for today. Bye bye.
All right. Thanks, guys.